Alright, hello everybody. This is going to be basically like kind of in behind the scenes video. A lot of the wafers that I like here I've already got made or pre-prepped. You'll notice right over here is some 304 stainless steel tubing, 2mm outer diameter, 1mm inner diameter. With these here, this is what I use for this. I use the brass rod, well tubing. It's 3mm outer diameter, 2mm inner diameter. And what I like to do is check to make sure that the diameter is going to fit fine within the plug, as well, the chambers in the plug in the Bible. Some of these plugs will have a smaller diameter, which I've mentioned in a few of my videos, so you really have to pay attention to that. And instead of just taking a file and just grinding down a whole bunch, you might have to do a whole lot. So what I like to do is I'll grab some 800 grit, just take a little bit of that meat off, then polish it up with some 2000 grit. We'll just do that real quick for a brief moment, and we'll cut a wafer. Now we done pretty much buffed off all the surface, and of course a little bit of the oxidization, so it's going to glide better within that chamber. So next step is, but of course, and sorry if you really can't see it all, is now to cut a wafer, thin size wafer, and there we go. Okay, we got a wafer right here. File on the side that we just cut. Go back and forth, knock off all the burrs and the cutting, and it should be good. Now, this 2mm hole is actually, grab my tweezers, too small to go over that. So this is what we got to do. I got this, if I can find it, here we go, battery powered bead reamer. Take it, work it all the way down to the end. It's a little bit of a process, but it does work. Try to keep this where you can see it, and turn around the other way. And I'll keep going. Further down, sometimes pair of tweezers to grab that to make it go all the way down, which should be about close and should glide. Let's find out. See if it's going to glide on our stainless steel tubing here. All right. Slide and put that on. Not quite. So I gotta put it back on the bead reamer a little bit more, and maybe we can get this squared away and sorted out a little bit more. Some of my fingernail, but that's okay. Call it designer notch. Manicure. And if I was talented, I'd do it with my toes and would have a pedicure going on. But you know, it's just takes a little time. That's why I usually like to have all this stuff pre-done before I do a video on making pins. But you know, at least you get to see there's more work that goes in behind the scenes with these things. If you ever, you know, make your wafers and stuff, if you drill through brass rod, standard pins, key pins, or driver pins. You know, it's a process. It's just it's not as easy with the tubing, but even with easy tubing, it can be a little bit tedious and time consuming. And especially if something's going to work right or not work right for you. Like, kind of now. Come on. Let's see if that's going to be enough to actually make this work. Let's see. And without this flying across the room, hopefully we can make this video go by well. I'm not trying to jinx myself. And as you see, it goes right over that. And just so it glides smoother and cleaner across your 2mm tubing, stainless steel tubing. Let's take this out. Like I said, that was 3mm, 2mm. I got 1.5mm by 3mm. I've got 1mm by 3mm, and I also have 2mm, 1mm on the brass. Pretty much about the same type of stock on the stainless, except I do have some solid stainless rods to try to make stainless steel pins. And I don't really recommend working with a lot of stainless unless you got plenty of money to replace these blades. Okay, now the same thing with the stainless here. 800 grit. Nice little bit right there. Polish with the 2000 grit. Alright, now to make, well, here, let me see if I can find what I've done with it. That's a pen I hadn't finished yet, but I did have it put together. It just needs some soldering and some cleaning. But that's what I get for switching from one gear to another one. I'll find it later amongst the mess, no worries. Let's see. I don't have my glasses. So what we'll do is we'll cut one. And we'll cut just a little bit over, about in between where the chuck ends here and that gap between where the, about somewhere in between that little gap right there. Alright. Get my knife right here. Cover your ears, turn down your volume, get ready for it. This is what I like to do. I try to do that. Take this, run it across where there could be some burrs, some sharp points. And, oh boy, guess what happened? You know what? The video is just going to be a little bit longer. You know what? If this is, yeah, I should have reversed it. But you know what? I can make it work like so. When you got too small of a piece, this is what you do. And push it back down. Alright, 2000 grit. We're going to make this work, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to make this work. Now, at this point, you have that. Now, this is where it's going to get a little tricky. Let me, you know what? Like I hadn't done it before, so I moved that out of the way. Get past here, turn that, grab tweezers. Let's see, put that right there in sight. Actually, let's turn this right here and move it to where you can see. Yeah, bottom left hand corner with some more right here. Oh, okay. Set that. Use one of these spring-loaded center punches, automatic. Give yourself about a good couple of clicks. You should have a nice flare right there. Once you got that, you take your brass ring. It should glide right over there, in which it has. And with this particular case, I've got plenty to where I can turn this into a rattlesnake wafer, and that's what I'll do. Is stand this up, bring this. Okay, right there's the flared end. Stand it up, back there. Come on. All right, there's the flared end on the bottom. We're going to flare the top on this one. And tweezers. I wish I wore my glasses, but you know, hey, this works. Move this back over here. Bring this right over here. And get this underneath the light. And see, I wish I can. There we go. Is it going to even move any? There we go. It moves some. There we go. That's the hybrid rattlesnake button. If this was too small, I would have not flared the other end. I would have left that. Would have grabbed either 1.5 millimeter inner diameter by 3 millimeter outer diameter, and would have took another small piece with the and basically would have made. It'd be nice if I could find that pin right now. I mean, I just put it together just a little while ago, and I thought I had it clipped off in here, which actually kind of sucks because I don't know exactly where it's at right now. But I can easily hide something right in front of my face, and I will more than likely find it later. I will definitely put some pictures of it on my Instagram, maybe a video. Might make a short here, I don't know, for here. But either way, that's hopefully that kind of helps with some of the questions involved. The same way as I showed how I made this is basically it's the same way how I make my outer rattlesnake pins, pip pins, except they're longer, and I'm able to add 3-4 disc, and then I'll leave enough to where when I flare it with the center punch, they got room to move. That's pretty much it. Let's see, I know I'll go through more when I start turning these. Tilt this down. When I start turning these into key pins as well as driver pins. I'll go through the process with that. When it comes to the caps, if I use the 2 millimeter outer diameter, 1 millimeter inner diameter, see your spring will go over that, so you'll have to cut you a wafer to put on top of this between the spring, or your pin basically becomes one with the spring. And that's why I kind of recommend using a 3 millimeter outer diameter, 1 millimeter inner diameter. And that's pretty much it. If I find the pen, cool. If not, I will definitely find it later. Alright. I hope this kind of helps to the method to my madness and a little bit of my insanity. But yeah, you know, I think showing people what I do and hopefully helps them make their own. See, there's a, you know, basically, you know, that's pretty much awesome. That's what I like to do. I like to see people being creative and even making some of these pens that I make. It would really make me very happy because I've passed on something that someone else can do and even put their own twist on to even better the product or the process. But yeah, that's it for now. I'll find that pen later. Okay, bye-bye.